over the years since we've been manufacturing plastics and just everything that we don't know what to do with, honestly. And it has collated into this massive island, twice the size of Texas, and it's just swirling around in the ocean right now. And you can see it on Google Earth if you look it up. It's disgusting, actually. It makes you want to cry. But with that knowledge and with the fact that that's not going to biodegrade for hundreds of years, we can make hemp plastic that is 100% biodegradable. We're actually working on several other ways to make plastic, and one of them is through bananas, like the starches in bananas. We throw away millions of banana peels every day, and if we had a way to recycle that and take the starch out of it and just reuse it, we could make plastic out of it that biodegrades in a year. So for things that we know we're going to sell very rapidly, this is a great solution. Hemp is a little bit more durable, which can be a plus. It can also be a con, but it is 100% biodegradable. So that's something to look forward to, and even research. That's something I want to go into. As far as clothing and rope goes, sailors have been using hemp as rope for one of the most durable ropes they've possibly manufactured for hundreds of years. It says thousands of years. I'm not sure about that. Probably more like hundreds of years. 90% of all the ships and sails were made of hemp, like 300 years ago. The word canvas in Dutch is actually cannabis, and that's from Webster's New World Dictionary, which I found very interesting. There's probably some derivatives there. Hemp was in such demand in the colonies of America when we first colonized it that taxes would be paid in hemp and fines were levied against farmers who did not know how to grow hemp or were not capable of growing it because of their land space. The first Bibles, maps, charts, Betsy Ross's flag, the first drafts of the Declaration of Independence, and the Constitution were all made from hemp. Then that little icon down there just talks about the seed versus the stock, and like textiles and building materials, foods. You can't really see it, but we basically covered it. As far as medical research goes, in Utah, we just barely passed a law where those that have epileptic seizures can use cannabis. And this just really happened 2 months ago, actually. A lady whose child was having over 200 seizures per week was trying every medication her doctor was shoving at her, and nothing was working. And so she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, even though this is illegal, I'm gonna try this oil on my child. And so she started feeding her, I think like 3 tablespoons a day of this oil, and the child stopped having seizures almost immediately. And she now only has like 1 or 2 per week, which is fantastic. So that went to court. We talked about that. It was a huge deal. It was in like the newspapers, the Deseret News. Now it is official, and we can have, if you have epileptic seizures or some very similar condition and your medications aren't working, it is a step in that direction of getting it approved in Utah. But I mean, it's going to be a long ways off before we get any more than that, because they're pretty dang conservative here. So it's also been found to be effective against breast, lung, prostate, blood, liver, oral, pancreatic, and brain tumors and cancers. And I can show you guys all the studies. That little link down there that you can see is actually 20 medical studies that prove cannabis can cure cancer. And they're all peer-reviewed, they're all like in journals. They're all very recent, obviously, because this is a hot topic and it hasn't been allowed to be studied because it's been a Schedule I drug for so long, which means that you cannot even use it to study anything except for AIDS. That was the only exception that was ever made, which they found that it does help with AIDS too. It helps improve the immune system. So your body has natural defenses to fight against it and you'll stay alive for longer. An interesting quote right here. So cannabinoids can prevent cancer, reduce heart attacks by 66%, and insulin-dependent diabetes by 58%. Cannabis clinician Dr. William Courtney recommends drinking 4 to 8 ounces of raw flower and leaf juice from any hemp plant. So that's just a straight up greens. Like you don't have to be you don't have to be like getting the oil or like eating the roots or like doing some weird concoction. You can just grow it. Yeah. Eat it, you can juice it. That's one of the most potent ways to get it in you. Because there's so many other ways than just smoking it, which people don't realize. But And then, this is one of my last slides, but growing hemp and not trees is another way to create a more sustainable globe. It would only take 6% of our US land to produce enough hemp to fuel, for hemp fuel to make us energy independent from the rest of the world.
Wow.
So, right there, that's a pretty small sacrifice.
Yeah.
I feel like, at least.
Burn all the cornfields and replant
Yeah.
hemp. Yeah.
Right.
I think you have too many people to fight off.
Yeah.
I know, there's a lot of
Industry.
people against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of it is because of
Don't mess with
the
their
money. Yeah,
dude.
of
Yeah.
course, those industries are not going to want to see them fail, to see themselves fail, even though they are obsolete, honestly. We have the technology to move beyond them.
So obsolete.
However, it starts with us, it starts with education, it starts with the people voting for what they want. It starts with everyone just coming together and being like, we don't support this.
Mm.
We're not going to buy these products anymore. We're going to create our own solutions.
Mm.
So along those lines, these are my sources. If you want to look at them, I have more too that didn't fit on here.
Mm.
But so those are the main ways to use hemp in your daily life and how it affects you and why you should definitely vote for it.
Yeah, vote. Awesome.
Vote.